Alright, so here's what we've got. We've got a bit of a mess here in the garden. It's November 2nd, so it's fall, and honestly the latter half of this season, early fall, our garden got a little bit neglected because we got involved with some other projects. We were starting to paint our house and we were building a woodshed. But this is my year and a half now, I guess it is, into back to Eden style of gardening, and this is some of the things that I'm going to do to winterize my bed and get it ready for next spring system, because the whole thing with back to Eden is that it takes a couple of years to get that soil established, and there's a little something that I do that I'm hoping will expedite that process. As you can see here, right now it's covered in leaves because it's fall. We've been throwing our leaves in here, but if you look down here, you will see that we have our wood chips. And underneath these wood chips, we've got some of that nice rich soil that you're looking for. So far I've been very happy with the Back to Eden thing. Our soil has definitely improved. We've got a ton of earthworms in here. The only thing that I'm worried about is I just want to do it faster. Right now we've got 3 or 4 inches of beautiful soil. I want 10 or 12 inches of beautiful soil, and I don't want to wait 5 years to get there. So I'm going to do a little trick to try to expedite this process, and that little black tarp right there is a big part of that process. We'll unveil that guy in just a few minutes. So I'm going to start by just getting things cleaned up. We're going to pull all this stuff out, and oh, look, we got some Brussels sprouts. Would you look at that? We actually have a nice little run of Brussels sprouts. Well, maybe we'll have those for dinner tomorrow night with our venison. So I'm going to get things cleaned up here and get things started, and then I'll show you guys my little trick that I do to hopefully try to expedite this whole process. Alright, as you can see here, all I'm basically doing is I'm just kind of roughly raking, a little bit of shoveling, some of the top stuff, the leaves and the top layer of wood chips that haven't broken down yet. I'm cleaning up some of those, and I'm basically just making a big pile right in the middle of my garden here. Okay, we're going to use that pile a little bit later, but I saw something here I came across that I just wanted to show you guys real quick. It's kind of the essence of the Back to Eden theory of gardening, and that is this white stuff right here. This is mycelial growth of fungus, beneficial fungus. It's the stuff that we want in our garden, and it's also the stuff that wood chips kind of bring to the party. A big part of the whole wood chip thing is its ability to create high contents of beneficial fungus, and that fungus will benefit your plants, it will benefit your soil, it will help to break things down the road. So you want that. You really want that fungus. That's just the kind of the essence of what wood chips really bring. So here's what we've got. I went through and I just cleaned out the garden, raked up the leaves, some of the wood chips that had not broken down yet. I wasn't overly aggressive about it. I wanted to leave a lot of this stuff here because we wanted to continue to break down. As you can see, we've got that nice, beautiful, rich soil that we're looking for. And much like Paul talks about in his Back to Eden garden video, you know, if you look at this, it's very reminiscent of a forest floor. I mean, this is kind of what you see when if you go out in the woods and just move the leaves around. This is basically what you find. And in doing so, I have created a nice sized pile of miscellaneous organic matter. There's leaves and weeds and some of my leftover crops, my squash vines and the wood chips, you know, some of the wood chips that hadn't broken down or decomposed yet are mixed up in there. And I've got some leftovers from my Brussels sprouts, but I love my chickens, so I'm gonna give those to my chickens, and I'm sure they're gonna really appreciate it. So the next step is to break out the beast, and that's what's underneath that black tarp right there. Okay, as you can see, that pile is gone. I ran the whole thing through this shredder. Probably took me an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. I stopped in the middle for a little bit because my neighbor stopped by to say hello. But what I am left with is this pile here. You can see it actually goes all the way back to my raised beds. It's quite a bit. And I hope that the camera can really show this. This is what I have left from this, and this is just a beautiful soft mix of all kinds of organic matter in here that's been shredded. So the next step now is to spread this out just as you would compost. I'm going to just spread this out all over my garden. I'll probably get about 2 inches or so, I think, once I spread it all out. And then of course we're going to put a bunch of wood chips on top of that in classic Back to Eden style, and I'm hoping that this will expedite the process. I'm just adding basically a 2-inch layer of beautiful organic matter on top of what's already here. But so that's what I do. This is what I've done so far, and I'm going to get back busy here spreading this stuff out and get some wood chips in here. Alright, it's another day here in Connecticut, and I did manage to get all that nice organic matter laid out in the garden, and it was kind of what I expected. I got a good solid 2 inches on here, which is in addition to the probably 4 inches of Back to Eden soil that I had on here just from 2 years of doing the Back to Eden style of gardening. here, you can see it really is beautiful stuff. So we're going to get our wood chips on here now. It's cold. We actually had a cold snap last night. It's only about 30 degrees out now. So we're going to get our chips on here and get this thing protected for the winter.